What's up, man? I haven't made a video in a long ass time, but I'm not gonna make any promises. I might not make a video in a long ass time again, but yeah, when I make these videos, I gotta be in the mood. I gotta be calm. But I'm a bitch about my parents again. But I was thinking, when you got parents that are, going around talking about, that you just want to hand out. Because the way I see it is, in order to even, a lot of the things in your life are going to be dictated by your family structure, your parents. Your parents are going to set the tone. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, your parents are going to be the ones that set the tone, because in order to even have the opportunities, you got to have a supportive family that's willing to facilitate the environment for you to actually grow and achieve your goal. Whether that be having a free place to stay, actually putting up the money to help you go get your education or get your certification, whatever you want. I mean, it just is what it is. You can't do it on your own. And I hate when people sit there, try to act like, oh, well, your situation is all on you. Like, you have to take full responsibility. Your parents are not responsible. It's all bullshit, man. Society has successfully stupefied, well, at least Western American society is successfully stupefied everybody into believing like this hustler mentality when it's really all fake. I mean, like, your parents do have a lot to do with it. And you can't blame anybody 100% for any situation. You can't. It is not black and white like that. Because at the end of the day, in order to even grow up, you have to deal with people. In order to get money, you have to deal with people. In order to go get any type of goal met, you have to deal with people. To go to school, you got to deal with people. To pass, to graduate, to this and that, and all this other stuff, you have to deal with other human beings, and you can't control 100% about how another human being decides to treat you. You can't control that. You can't control whether or not you're likable. A lot of the time, you can only improve your chances of being likable and try to influence. Prepare yourself. But you can't control that. There's things that you're not able to control. And what sucks is that when somebody just decides to treat you like shit. I mean, if you're like black pill, you're generally just trying to just get by. People are always treating you like shit for no good reason. Just because of their own negative biases and prejudices and, stupid ass belief systems. And, when you're in a situation like I am where, you try to tell your parents. I stopped talking to my parents a long time ago. I cut them off, but, try to tell your parents, you try to tell them like, hey man, I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in effort. I just need you to assist me. They just interpret it, it's always the boomer parents, X-Gen, whatever. They always interpret it as, oh, you just want a handout. You just want free stuff. It's like, okay, well, I didn't ask you to have a fucking child. Like, I didn't ask you to be a parent. I didn't even ask to be your fucking son. The least you could do is facilitate an environment for me to actually grow and achieve my goals, at least. I mean, I didn't ask for this life. And even then, how the fuck is it a handout when I'm literally putting in effort myself? Like, I'm not asking for a handout. I mean, shit. Now, if you bitch at me and talk about why aren't you anything in life and why aren't you in this, why aren't you doing that? Okay, well, you were supposed to let me finish school. You didn't let me finish fucking college. So how are you gonna expect me to be anything when you weren't even willing to put the fucking effort and money up yourself? And then when I had 2 jobs, when I was working 7 days a week, I could have saved a lot of money had you just let me stay at your place, right? You know what I mean? If you got 2 jobs, I mean, your parents should at least let you fucking stay at their house. Use their house as like a place to fucking just lay your head at. So you can actually build your wealth. And then you can get the fuck out and actually really go do something. And be somebody. Have enough money to actually go to get a skill and all that. But no. They always say you got to do it on your own. But the problem is that these old motherfuckers are stuck in a time loop. Everybody knows about the 80s. You know, most people that are black people, they know about how the 80s was a time when people had it the best economically and they were able to fucking work like a very like normie, low-skilled labor job and be able to fucking afford a house. All they had to do was just work more than 40 hours a week. That's all they had to do. You could have one job and be able to feed yourself and not really worry about money too much. You could actually do that. You know? And now what can you do? You gotta work 2 jobs just to fucking afford anything. You know? And literally I gotta keep from going crazy because the job I got right now, man, it's like, you know, it's always some corruption, man. It's always some corruption at every fucking job. Like, if you got all, I'm gonna be honest, man, if you got all black people at your job and you're black, but you don't act like an ADOS black guy, it's over for you, man. You're gonna end up getting in trouble. You're gonna end up getting into it with one of them. Because they're gonna realize, oh, you're not ADOS like us. You're not an African American descendant of slavery like we are. You're not into that. You're not part of the culture like we are. So we're gonna ostracize you. And even right now, I got Mexicans at my job, man. Once it was taken over, now it was multiracial. It was cool. Everybody was a good worker. Everybody had a good work ethic. Now, the manager ran everybody out. Now it's just all Mexican people, and I'm getting fucked with. Talking shit about you behind your back. They always want to fucking give you attitude. They want to ignore you and shit, that is workplace bullying, right? I mean, somebody straight up ignoring you when you're forced to have to speak to them, I'll just like stop talking to them. You know what I mean? Literally handicapping me from being able to do my job correctly. But that's what it is, man. It's like, you know, I already know at this point, it's only a matter of time before I end up having to fucking either move to a different work environment or something. I don't know. It might be a long time. It might be a short time from now. Who knows? But you know, it's like every day is just a further reminder of just the breakdown of society, man. Just like, and I'm not one of those doomers, man. I'm not one of those doomers that want the fucking world to burn just because I don't like it. Like, nah, I want everything to get better. But if everybody starts to just fucking go stupid and just if humanity just decides to destroy itself for no good reason, like, I'm just gonna be worried about my survival, man. I'm just gonna be detached. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to fucking just put up with that. We got old elites at the top talking shit and being petty to one another, and then they end up causing a whole fucking, you know, just societal collapse because of their pettiness, like causing warfare and all this other bullshit. Like, I'm good, man. I'll just find my way out. I'm just trying to find my way out right now. You know? But like, yeah, man, it's just when you got parents, man, that suck, you're cursed, man. You're cursed. Yep. And then, yeah, I'm bitching about my parents again. Yep. And I'm gonna keep bitching about my parents. Well, probably not, but I am going to definitely talk about them from time to time. But it's like, you know, you got people, you got parents that are like when your parents, for example, are like chastising you, talking about how you're not doing nothing. Why aren't you in a career yet? Blah blah blah. This and that. How could you be mad at your kid when you weren't even, like, first of all, when you had the kid, you weren't even rich, you weren't even in a good financial position. But then the problem is what my parents, they're just selfish. They're just narcissistic, man. They're just selfish. They just don't want to give. They don't want they don't want to help you. They'll sit there and talk shit to you, but then they don't want to help you. They got the resources to help you. They just don't want to they don't want to do it. I'm like, clearly you guys don't care about legacy, and that's the problem. I've realized that now. It's like, parents are supposed to, if you're going to be a parent, you're supposed to care about legacy. You don't have a kid just to have a kid. But yeah, man, that's what my parents did. They had a kid just to have one. But like this one Asian YouTuber said, your parents didn't do the best they could. They did the best of what they're taught. And I agree with T Sizzle on the fact that you got to let the animosity go. And I have, I've just accepted it. That doesn't mean I can't mention it. I'm gonna mention it. And yeah, it is gonna, just pointing out the fact of my situation. Yeah, it'll irritate me from time to time. Because it's like, how can you not think about that when every day, I'm just like, I just want to get the fuck out of America so bad. You're just suffering every day. I'm suffering every day. I feel like Lux Maximus when he was suffering in Canada when he had to work this shitty forklift job just because he didn't have rich parents, and I'm in the same boat. I have to work this shitty security job. And security is not even that bad. Security is actually, in and of itself, an easy job. It's a good job. Problem is people. People ruin every fucking thing. And that reminds me of one time, like, I was talking to somebody, and they said that I wish they were. They said they wish they were born 10 years earlier. And I was thinking, like, yeah, that's true, man, because a lot of times people say technology ruined everything, but in reality, it's people, man. People ruined everything. Normies, they ruin everything, man. They drive something to the point of, exhaustion every time. That's just how it is, man. Pop culture, it's just recycled shit. It's just recycled, diluted shit. It used to be good, man. People just drive it to the point of exhaustion and to where it doesn't have any meaning anymore. Like, nobody says YOLO anymore. I mean, that shit got worn the fuck out. Hell, man. I mean, there's a lot of stupid stuff that people say, but yeah, just going off in a tangent, man. Basically, the moral of the story is, if your parents suck, you're cursed, man, and you're gonna be blackpilled just like me. So yeah, just a random vid.